When you install a new program on your computer and you're finding out that it's corrupting your computer, it's not working properly, you can actually restore your computer to an earlier time or the time before you installed the program by using the Windows 7 System Restore feature. In other words, the System Restore uses what are called restore points to return your system files and settings to an earlier point in time without affecting any files or folders. So if I install the program now and then I create a bunch of files within the folder here, let's say all of these, and I go, you know what, the program I just installed isn't working, let me uninstall it. If I uninstall the program, will these files here that I just created after I install the program also be uninstalled? No, they'll still be here. The System Restore doesn't affect or touch any of your personal files, just the system files and the system settings, okay? Now these restore points have to be created. Well, they're automatically created every week and just before a big system event like when you install a new program or device driver, or you can create a restore point manually yourself. So if you're just about to install a program and you're not sure how it's going to work on your system, Windows 7 should automatically create a restore point. But if you're not quite sure if it's going to do it, you can do it manually. So just before you install the program, come down here, click on the Start button. You can go over here to the Control panel, click on that. Come up here and click on System and Security. Come down here and click on System, which is the same window you get, let me close out, when you just right-click on the computer and go down to Properties. Okay. Over here in the Task pane, go ahead and click on System Protection. You get a little pop-up window. And a couple of things. First of all, here's the button to do a system restore, to restore your computer to an earlier point in time that was created either automatically by Windows 7 or by one that we create, a restore point, by coming down here and clicking on Create. Now, when you create a restore point, first of all, you got a bunch of hard drives here. I've got another internal hard drive, a secondary drive. I have a bunch of external hard drives. And notice that the protection is turned off on all of them except my main hard drive, my C drive, the one that has the operating system on it. By default, that should be turned on. If not, then be sure to turn it on, okay? And how you do that, well, let me select one that's turned off, like maybe on an external hard drive. Select it, come down here and click on Configure, and you can see it's turned off. So you probably want to select Restore System Settings and Previous Versions of Files. Right here we're only talking about system settings. I'll talk about the previous versions of files in just a second. What that means is that you can actually, if you make a change in one of your personal files, you can restore it to a previous version. Or if you don't want to restore system settings, changes made to your system like when you install a new program, and you just want to only restore previous versions of files, then select that option. I'm going to go ahead and click Cancel, but let me scroll back down. Make sure that at least your main drive, your C drive here, is turned on. It should be again by default, but double check. So once you know it's turned on, select it, come down here and say that you want to create a restore point before you make any system changes to your computer, which by default, again, Windows 7 should automatically detect any big system events, but go ahead and click Create. And then just type in this restore point in time that makes sense to you. So if I'm going to go ahead and install a spiffy program, if that's the name of the program, then that's going to be my restore point. So when I create it, I go ahead and install it. Then if it messes up my system, I'll show you how to do a system restore to select this point in time. And when I select it, it's going to restore my computer before I installed spiffy, because that's the restore point, okay? Click Create. This may take a while. Why it creates a restore point, in other words, why it calculates your system settings, everything that's there currently, and then if there's any changes, then it can figure that so it can restore it back to its proper point. Go ahead and close out, and that's it. I'll go ahead and click OK, make a bunch of changes to my computer, then come back here to System Protection. Let's say I'm having problems with that installation of that spiffy program. Then I come here and click on System Restore. Now you can click System Restore here, or you can come down here and click on the Start button in the instant search field and type in System Restore and come up here and click on that. It'll take you to the same screen. Let me show you. Click on it. It opens up this screen, Restore System Files and Settings, close out, or click System Restore here, opens up the same window. So it gives you a synopsis again of what System Restore is, and it doesn't affect any of your documents. So if you create a bunch of documents after you install the program, that when you uninstall that program, again, it doesn't uninstall those documents. Click Next. There it is. So you can see that I manually created this restore point, and I want to restore it to the point before I installed this spiffy program. Or I can restore it earlier, or show me more restore points. And it's got quite a few restore points. It can handle so much, and then those restore points eventually get removed. For example, the oldest restore point will be deleted as it tries to keep up to date on newer restore points, okay? So that's it. I can just go ahead and select the restore point before I installed Spiffy because I created it before I actually installed it. So when I click Next, your system's going to go ahead and go through a long process of restoring everything prior to me installing the Spiffy program. It'll shut down and restart the computer, and you'll be good to go. And hopefully that will fix everything for you. Unless it's some sort of virus or something, then you're really going to have to figure something else out. But typically for me, System Restore usually works. I'm going to go ahead and click Cancel. Now the final point I want to make about System Restore is that aside from taking a snapshot of your system files and settings before you screw it up, or you install a program that crashes your system so you can restore it to an earlier point in time, it will also take all the files in your computer that you have and create what are called previous versions of the file. In other words, previous versions of your files are automatically saved as part of a restore point, and are also created by Windows Backup when you back up your files. As you recall in the past couple of training videos, when we backed up, let me close out of here, our exercises folder, all the files in here, and if I go ahead and edit this file here, if I want to restore it to the backup that I made, just right click, go to Properties, click on the Previous Versions tab, and there's my backup. Now also up at the top it says previous versions come from restore points or from Windows Backup. So there it is again. I can do it from a backup, go ahead and select it, click Restore, it takes it from the backup file and restores it, overwrites the file that I currently have here. Or if I double click and open this up and I make some changes, I get rid of this name and I type in some other text or name. In any case, I made some changes, right? If I go ahead and close out and click Save, and I right click on that file again, instead of going to Properties, you can actually go to Restore Previous Versions. Takes it to the same tab, Previous Versions. And then look, I get two options now. I have the backup that I can go ahead and restore, select it, restore it, or I can go ahead and use this restore point, a restore point that was made, if you notice, at the same time the backup was made. So again, previous versions come from restore points or from Windows Backup. So there's the backup, there's the restore point, same date and time the backup was made. Now keep in mind this is the last time I made an actual backup of this file as opposed to the folder here. So the file was created as a backup on December 21st and hence also the restore point. Now instead of going ahead and selecting the restore point and clicking restore, I can get a preview of what I'm about to restore just by double clicking on it. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 names, okay? I can look at that and say, okay, yes, I do want to restore that. Let me close out as opposed to what I have now. So it's like, who is that other name? Wales somebody? Oh, I can't remember. I accidentally deleted it. So right click, restore previous. There's the restore point. We double clicked on it. We liked what we saw, so we just need to select it, click restore. Are you sure? Click restore, okie dokie, close out. Double click to open up, and there's Helena Wales, and not some other text here. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel, get notified of the latest videos, and for only $2 a month, you can have access to all my Microsoft Office training videos.